Hi everyone and welcome back to Maths and Physics with Mr. Simons. Today's lesson on inverse functions. Now we give you a function. So when I say solving linear function problems given drawing, there's two ways we test a function. Either we give you an equation or we give you a drawing. Right here we've given you a drawing, so you're going to be required to find the equation first. From that equation that you found, we're going to answer the same questions as in the previous slide. Determine equation given, so there they've given us minus 2 and 0, 0 and 1 on a straight line. So there's two ways we can solve this. Either we're going to find the gradient using the 2 points, and then we have the y-intercept or the c value, which is 1. Or we can find the c value and then substitute this point in to find the equation. But I'm going to do both methods. You decide which one you are more comfortable doing, and I hope that your teacher accepts both most of the time. We teach you different methods so that you can learn that maths is not a subject that stands on its own, but there's more than one way to solve it, right? Method 1. So y equal mx plus c. We're going to determine the gradient first. So the points we had was minus 2 and 0 and 0 and 1. So m equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now I've color coded so that you get used to, you have to use the same values from the same bracket in the same place. What do I mean? See there, I've put 1 minus that 0, so therefore 1 goes with 0, so there at the bottom we start with 0 minus minus 2. Alright, and please note that negative is already there, so the negative 2 there I've put in a bracket. So I have 1 minus 0 and 0 minus minus 2. Gives me 1 on top, negative times negative, positive 2, so my gradient is half. Therefore, y equal to half x plus c, right? And then we sub in the y-intercept, which is automatically c, so c there would be 1, because my y-intercept is 1. So my equation, f of x equal half x plus 1. Method 2, yeah, sounded very wrong. But method 2, y equal mx plus c. Substitute in the y-intercept, so y-intercept 0 and 1. Right, so y equal mx plus 1. My c becomes 1 because that's my y-intercept. And then we sub in the other point, which was minus 2 and 0. So this states that my x is negative 2 when my y is 0. So you see then, negative 2 went to x, 0 went to y. Right, so if I take 1 across, I get negative 1. That equals negative 2m. So negative 2m divided by negative 2 gives me m. Negative 1 divided by negative 2. Negative and negative would become positive. So I have 1 over 2. Therefore, f of x equal half x plus 1. So that is determining the equation, which we generally like to test when it comes to exam questions. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we in a test either straight line, parabola, hyperbola, or exponential. One of them we will test, can you find the equation, right? Now, determine f negative 1 x, meaning determine the inverse function, the equation of the inverse. So we have f of x equal half x plus 1. So again, for inverse, we will always swap x and y first. That's your first mark. So you see my x went in a place of y and my y went in a place of x. If I take plus 1 across, it becomes a negative 1. From there, half y, to get rid of half, I'm going to multiply by 2. So 2 times x would give me 2x. 2 times negative 1, negative 2. And half times 2 would give me 1. So y equal 2x minus 2 is my equation. That's my second mark. Or if we have to write it in that format, f to power negative 1x equal 2x minus 2. Right, so that's my equation of my inverse, compulsory exam question because it's grade 12. Plot the function of the inverse without any further calculations. So we don't want us to calculate, so we're testing. Do you understand that we're simply swapping my x and y values? So there, minus 2 and 0 became 0 and negative 2. 1 and 0, or 0 and 1 became 1 and 0. I plot those 2 points and I draw a straight line through it. And there's my equation of my inverse function. Right, I've reflected it over the line y equal to x. Right, I hope this makes sense to you. I hope you continue practicing. Get the basics in your head, because once we go to the parabola and those functions, I'm going to be following the same procedure, but the graph's just going to look slightly different. God bless. Bye.